Hey, this is Jeffrey, and yeah, I think this looks really good. I don't honestly have too many comments about it. I think one thing is the arms could maybe move down a little bit, just because of the way they overlap the top here. So I think they would move down if we kind of look at the reference. Yeah, it looks like it's below the sort of shoulder there, that top of that arm. So yeah, maybe back a touch so it's centered there. And yeah, I like the touch with this little ring around each of those bolts. That looks nice, but pretty straight up good. I think you could add a bevel here. Just double click, shift right mouse click, bevel edge, and make that a bit smaller and increase the segment, something like that. And do that for this one as well. Looks like you did it for all this other stuff. Yeah, honestly, it looks good. I don't have too much to say. Just that, adjusting the height of the arm and the bevel on that one piece. Besides that, I think you've got everything looking good. Nice work. Okay, this is Linton, and yeah, this is looking very good. Not too much to change. I think I'd give the body a little bit more thickness if we kind of look at some of these references. It looks a lot thicker there. So at this point, one thing to know is that you don't just want to scale now. Whoops. Because it kind of messes up the bevel. So instead, I would right mouse click, select vertex, marquee select these vertices, and then move this back, and that'll keep the bevel consistent. And then maybe you'll do the same to this one a little bit, and then move some of the right mouse click object mode. These things, just recenter them a little bit, like so. Oh yeah, and these. These things I'd probably keep spherical. I wouldn't have a different scale on, these different axes. Probably make this 0.6. Whoops. 0.06. Yeah. So I think it looks better round like that. And obviously do the same on this side. Yeah, everything else is looking alright. Maybe, tuck these in a little bit more, like that. Feet could maybe be a little bit longer. Yeah, they're probably okay, but maybe just a touch longer this way. Again, if you did that, you'd move the vertices, not the whole feet. Don't scale it at this point, as I said, because it'll mess up the shape of the bevel. But yeah, overall good. Right, this is Katie, and it's looking good for the most part. One thing is you're going to want to get all these into a group, just to keep things organized. Maybe I'll call this, robot geo or something like that. I think it's a nice touch to add the the ridge there, the sort of seam. Mostly this is looking good. Ears maybe look a little bit large. Head looks maybe a little small. I was also thinking the feet could be maybe they could be a little less thick. And then maybe a bit centered on there, and then I think longer in this direction. And I mean, you'd have to. I don't know which bevel it is. Maybe this one. Yeah, maybe a little bit more rounded. Something like that. Maybe these could be narrower. Anyway, something like that. But yeah, overall this is looking good. Nice work. Okay, this is William, and kind of wondering what it's going on with the sort of faceted look here. It could be the mesh display soften edge issue. Yeah, that's what it is. So I think you can get that from shift right mouse click, am I right? Polygon display. No. Anyway, I don't know. There's some. Maybe it has to be. Maybe you have to select the edges, and then you can shift right mouse click, soften, harden, soften. Yeah, I guess that works. So you'll want to do that for, well, all this stuff, to soften the edges so they don't look all faceted. But you know what, maybe I'll just pick everything just to be a little lazy about it and do mesh display soften edge, and then they're all softened at the same time. Like the other one, you're going to want to organize your surfaces. Be good to name some of these, and also name the group. Maybe I'll call this robot geo. I just selected all of those and did a Control G for group. Oh, this looks a little weird now after the soften edge thing. If I want to get rid of that soften edge, one trick is to on the attribute editor, click polysoft edge, hit select, and then hit delete. And that's kind of weird. I mean, it should be able to do that without looking off like that. Maybe if we just select these edges, shift right mouse click, soften, soften. Yeah, it's struggling with the top and bottom being softened, I guess. So select those edges, shift right mouse click, soften, soften. Okay. Yeah, the seam looks good. Maybe a little bit big of a seam on there. Yeah, other than that, I think this is looking alright. So, oh yeah, maybe the feet, I think, have this much behind them as they have in front of them. I think they could be a little thinner this way as well, and maybe a bigger, like a rounder bevel. If we go back to the reference, oh, maybe the bevel's okay. Yeah, some of these feet look a little thicker, some look a little thinner. Like those look kind of thin to me. Anyway, they look thick here. You know, going back to this, but yeah, have them equal length behind the leg as they have in front of it. Yeah, and maybe this could be a bit thicker too, and I demonstrated this a couple times now, but right mouse click vertex, pick this stuff, and move it back, and that way you get the same shape bevel. It doesn't destroy the shape of the bevel. And then you're going to want to, you know, move everything else centered again accordingly if you do that. I like this extra bolt here, that's nice. Okay, yeah, good work. This is Craig, and yeah, it's looking good. Like some of the others, I might right mouse click vertex. I might pull this back this way a little bit. I like that you've added these little extra things in there, although I might put the arm a little closer to the body. Also, I might make this bevel a little bit bigger. If I click on here, just kind of, just a fraction, maybe not quite so much, maybe some more segments. Facial features are looking a little big. I think there's a little more space on the face. Let's look at the area around the eyes. Because there's not loads of space there. Still, the mouth looks a bit big, I suppose. Maybe the eyes could be smaller. I think that's part of it too. But yeah, overall this is looking good. Nice work. Okay, this is Flora, and yeah, this is looking good. I think I might make the body a little bit thicker, like so, and move these back accordingly. Maybe the legs could be a touch narrower. Again, I'd select the vertices so I don't mess the bevels up. If you want to do the feet, it's better if you scale from the bottom. So, but yeah, I guess again we should really not do it that way and really just pick the vertices of these and move them down. And then I can do the same for these. Oh, I made a mistake here. And then I also think that these are, move the back of these out so there's as much behind the leg as in front of it. And I think the legs could be more centered underneath here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe these stick out a little bit too far. I think we're seeing at least less than half of those. So I'll push those in some. Yeah, I mean overall it's looking good. Okay, nice work. Oh, this might, I don't know if it'd be as pinched at the bottom, but I suppose you'd have to take a step back to get that to, because if we look at the reference, see how it's like, it's straight on the bottom, it doesn't curve back in on the bottom. So yeah, I mean probably easiest just to step back for that, but if I was to try and do that now, I guess I would maybe get a lattice and then right mouse click lattice point, and then maybe take these bottom couple rows and scale them out a little bit. Oh gosh, just a little bit. And maybe deselect this row. Scale out that one. It's a little bit better. Maybe this one needs to go out just a touch. Anyway, slightly better. Then when you're done, you can delete history, Alt-Shift-D, and I'll get rid of that lattice for you. Alright. Okay, this is Taylor, and yeah, looking good. If you get this weird off-kilter camera, you can just do View, Default View, and that will make things back to normal. Again, like a lot of these, I think it's a bit thin from the sides, so I'm just selecting vertices and pulling this out, and doing the same for this one. Oops. And then you'd of course have to move all of its corresponding body parts back. And these. And this might be thicker too. Alright. But yeah, this is looking good. Maybe those few little tweaks, something like that, but other than that, looks pretty good. I think maybe the bevel on this, something went, so you have like, looks like you made a mistake with the bevel, so, because you got these little double lines here, so I'm going to take these off one at a time. The way I can do that is go into the attribute editor. I'm going to start with number 21, select that one, and then hit select, and then delete. Yeah, I can already see. Yeah, I got rid of the double lines. Okay, so that was that problem. Now I'm going to take a look here and see what happens if we um, decrease the not the offset. Correction. No. Oh, you have another bad one there. Okay. So again, that was maybe that's number 6. Select, delete. Okay. Now let's see what's left. Yeah, we just have the one bevel now. That's good. Okay. Oh. Okay, yeah, here we go. So let's make that smaller. Still, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take that one off too because you didn't do it right. Yeah, you can tell by that you selected the whole thing and did a bevel, and so I'm gonna get rid of that one too. Poly bevel 3, select, delete. Okay, now when I select the edges, I've got to be more careful because I don't want all the edges. I just want these sort of outside ones and not those inside ones, if you know what I mean. Shift right mouse click bevel edge, and better. Yeah, so that looks much cleaner, and yeah, the surface looks better. I think you might have maybe have a similar situation here, because not sure though. Yeah, there's more. Yeah, you have multiple. Well, just 2 bevels here, but I don't think you should need more than 1 bevel if you select all of the right things. Ooh. Select, delete. Okay. But yeah, see, there's still this other bevel on there, but I don't see anything beveled. And then again, go through and carefully select the correct edges. I'm not going to do it right now. But I think you maybe just selected the whole object and bevel it rather than the appropriate edges that you want to bevel. So, yeah, besides that, this is looking good. Okay, this is a Danya, and this is looking good. It's got some good depth, maybe even too much, but that's alright. Looks like this whole head could kind of move up a little bit. It looks a little bit sort of crowded close to the body. Maybe come up just a touch. Yeah, these feet are sticking. They should stick out behind the body as far as they are in front of it. Something like that, and then maybe we'll pull these down a little bit. Maybe that's too much. I think that's a little better. Okay. Yeah, you've got this organized and stuff's named. That's good. So, yeah, I think this one turned out well. Good work. Okay, this is Josh. Note you can change the background color with Alt B. Whoops! What happened? What have I done? What is that? Oh. Okay, I don't know. So, okay, I'm not. Looks like you've built this in a very different way, and you'll notice you get a lot of sort of crazy little surfaces that way. Is there any little no history on any of this? Okay. Why does it keep putting on the render view thing? Yeah, I mean, this is incredibly dense. I mean, if you've been watching the video up to now and looking at some of the other models, they have way, way, way less faces on them. Also, yeah, I guess more like that, where you just have the bevel. But why does it have these edges here? These ones going this way. Just wondering how you managed to do that, and nothing, all the history is gone, so I don't have any clues on that. Yeah, they're kind of just problematic topology stuff going on all over the place. Like kind of odd sort of star-shaped stuff isn't so great. Huh. The eyes are bigger, the head's really tall, and you've got all these extra edges in here. I might take a step back on this and do it more the way it was taught in the module, because I'm not sure how you went about this, but however you went about it seems really different. Looks like my guess is you used a lot of smooth, and that doesn't really give you the control over the roundness of the bevel, and also, although here it looks like you more likely used a bevel, then somewhere like here it looks like you used a smooth. And here the bevel's really small. So yeah, I'm not sure what the heck is going on with this file, but yeah, there's just all kinds of topology issues, and it's narrowed this way. So yeah, I might take a step back. The legs in particular are extremely dense for, anytime there's like a flat area, you really don't need that much geometry. It's not really helping describe anything. So, it's nice to add these little extra things like these little panels here. And, again, the seams on these things, that's all good to do, but I would try to do it in a way that's more, just a cleaner model with better topology. And again, maybe by just following the lesson. But you got the basic in there. Yeah, and then the other thing is to get all this named and organized and in a group, so it's your outliner is tidy. Okay, this is Gordon Wilson, and yeah, this is looking pretty good. I would say the body should be a bit thicker than, more depth than the head. So I'd move these back a bit. Maybe move these forward a little bit. If you can afford it. It's messing up all that stuff, so you kind of want to move all that forward with it. But speaking of which, this is sticking out a little bit too far down here and here, so I might work on that. Not sure why that's black. Is maybe a normals issue. Oh, I think that maybe, I'm just going to isolate select. I think that edge missing, so I'm going to do Control Shift X, and then just click and do Enter. And it's still a little bit funny, but maybe if I do Harden Edge, Shift right mouse click, Soften Harden, yeah, that cleaned that up. Okay. And then I get to turn off Isolate Select. Oh, but you do want, I would take a step back with the bevel because you didn't get this edge and that edge, and you do want those edges included in the bevel, and also it looks like you missed these along the top. Oh, you've got a big hole in the top. Yeah, so I would take a few steps back with this thing, and poly close border. Something's got a little funny with this one. Yeah, I might take a few steps back with that and maybe try it again. Feet are okay, maybe a little thin. This is elongated and we want it to be round, so might as well make it the same, 0.345, and then you'd move it up. And then likewise with the other side. These are a little bit too spaced out here. And this could be thicker as well, in this direction. Yeah, so mostly alright, but a few little areas of problems. Seems kind of problematic. Gotta fix that. Some of the scaling stuff, the disproportional hand. So those are a few things you can improve on. Next up is Gwendolyn, and yeah, this is looking really cool. let's compare it to the artwork here. I think the head is a little bit more just a cube shape, and you've got it kind of rectangular in this direction. Body maybe has a little bit more thickness and depth. And you got that little piece there. You've got a little kind of bits and tabs and stuff that could be interesting to add there. I think that one thing's missing is that really is part of the character is this sort of piece sticking out, that rounded thing out front. I think is a lot of its character, and you don't have that. I made a little bit more of these lips. Your lips are only sunken in, and I think these are sticking out. So even just putting two cubes there that are, that have beveled edges could work. Yeah, the siren thing on top looks good. I would probably keep these as all as perfect circles and not elongated there. So, this would be 0.164, same as the other one. .207. Anyway, you get the idea. You get those round. Yeah, the feet could be shaped a little bit more. I think they're a little narrower, a little taller. They've got that kind of big slice out the front. Yeah, and so just other little detail that could be added, but I think you were saying that these extrudes were unintentional, so what I might do, you can delete out these extrudes. So if I go into the attribute editor, I'll just select from the highest number down. So click that tab, hit select, and then delete. That might have done something on the front. I don't know, I didn't see what it did. Let's try this one. Select, delete, nothing. Uh-oh. I don't know what I'm doing to this. Select, delete. Sometimes this can do unpredictable things. Right now it seems like it's doing nothing. I have no idea. Okay, well that got rid of the bevel there. You generally want to do this in order. Okay, well I'm taking away your front stuff now. At some point we should get to where you did the back things. I think you just accidentally selected some of those. I mean, so that now you have to redo all that other stuff. I think the other way, oh, it's not letting me redo. Oh, okay, now I'm undoing those deletes. So the other way to do it would be a little bit more manual, where you would, let me just isolate this object. Whoops, wrong button. This one. Select these faces. Oops. Like that, and then delete. Then you have all these holes, and then you can do right mouse click edge, double click, shift right to select the hole, and then shift right mouse click, fill hole, and double click to select the hole, and then shift right mouse click, fill hole. And if you've recently done a command, you can hit the G key to redo that command. So I'm just selecting the hole and hitting G. Then you're going to want to get out your multicut tool, Control Shift X, and click here, enter, click here, and click here, enter, to make that consistent. So that's how you could approach it if you didn't want to delete out those changes. Yeah, and just maybe a bit thicker body, definitely thicker head. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really good that you did your own model instead of just copying the lesson. And mostly you're getting it. I think there's just a lot of little details that could improve. You asked about a circular cut into the polygon. I mean, it's not like the easy thing to do, which I'm, hesitant to get you guys started on, is booleans, because booleans can often make a real mess of the topology. So it's something, I avoid if I can. But if I select this, shift select that, and then where is it? Mesh booleans difference. I can cut a hole in the surface like so, but it doesn't. The topology is not good because I got these like faces that are like many-sided here, and that's not quality work. So that's sort of the catch if you're going to do stuff that way. But it is a way to cut a hole in a surface, which is I think what you meant. Okay, this is Hannah, and yeah, this looks like a good clean model. Don't really have too much to say. It sort of seems pretty by the book, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really see a lot of issues with it. I think one thing is you could bevel these guys, right mouse click edge, double click, shift right mouse click, bevel, adjust the fraction there, and segments, and that's gonna work a lot better than that one. So yeah, this is looking good. I honestly don't have too much to say about it. Yeah, alright. Good work on that.